Welcome back to the Gus and Rus show. I'm Russ.
I'm Gus.
And you'll notice the audio quality is a little different this time around just because we are recording from separate houses today due to quarantine. So
Yeah.
I will do the best with the audio on this one, but if the audio is a little different this time, that's why.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
I don't know how long we'll be in quarantine. I don't want to really give a guess. I still got
Probably
to
till the end of the month.
All right. That's an I actually like that guess, Gus. That was probably the best guess you could have told me right now.
I mean, that's like how long they're kind of saying for right now. It could extend till May, and the issue is until we have a vaccine, this will kind of happen in cycles. Like we'll have some issues here in the spring, and then might pop back up again in the fall, just because like there are people who didn't get it around the first time, but there's no herd immunity yet, and there's no vaccine yet. So if you get infected, you'll still get infected.
I like taking just like 1 month at a time. I wasn't a fan of what Virginia did, saying like they're locked down till like June 10th. I like this whole like 1 month at a time little strategy.
Well, they can always repeal it. They can always just say, actually, you know what? It turns out that we didn't need to go till June, so we'll just pull it back. I feel like that's probably better than what we sort of did, which is where it's like we'll kind of wait until it kind of becomes a problem, and then we waited, and now it's a problem. But we kind of and then we wait a few more days. Now it's even a bigger problem, and now we're pulling back to like doing stay at home and stuff like that. So I feel like it's probably better to be Virginia, where you're just kind of like off the get go. It's like, all right, well, we don't have a lot of cases. Nowhere near as much say other states, so we're just gonna go ahead and go till June, stay at home. Versus us, it's like we're just gonna wait till we have like a couple hundred cases, and then just do what we have to do.
I gotcha.
But let's actually go on to the thing we were here to discuss, not the quarantine stuff.
This isn't a science podcast, Gus.
We can do a quarantine podcast like everybody else. Be one of the million.
It's called. I don't have a joke for this. I might just cut this out.
Well, you're the joke, Russ, as always.
All right, Gus, we're leaving it in then. All right. Gotta have those zingers on me. But So this time around, the album I gave Gus was Shangri by English artist Jake Bugg. I like Jake Bugg a lot as I play guitar, and he's a phenomenal guitar player. And let's see what Gus has to think.
I like the guitar, the playing well enough. I just maybe it's everything else like because that makes up an album. It's kind of like where in a film you can have a good actor, or you can have great cinematography, but the film can still be kind of poor. Great example is Ralph Julia, in Street Fighter. Like that's a great performance, but the film is just kind of whatever. And I think the same thing here, where it's like, there's some solid tracks like Messed Up Kids and stuff in here. They're good that I actually enjoy, even though I'm not really a big fan of the genre. And I think the main thing here is that like this is a very sort of genre kind of album, and I'm just not big on the genre. Now, the first couple of tracks, like There's a Beast and We All Feed It, Slumville Sunrise, where it's like, I'm not really a big fan of the sound. I think it gets better as it goes. I just outside of Messed Up like Kids or maybe Kingpin, there's something that really kind of brings me into like, oh yeah, no, I'm digging this. I really like this. It's just probably the main thing is like it's not my style, it's not my genre. I'm not a big fan of the voice, I guess, of Jake Bugg. Kind of feels like certain times, like even like the tracks like Kingpin, like where like the sound is really great, but like I don't know, maybe this is just style singing. He just can't really like bring the extra bit of energy that the track probably needed with how high octane or how high energy the actual music is. That's the thing. Is like it's okay. It's like in my opinion, like there's some solid pieces, some really solid pieces in there, but I don't think it's just like not enough to like really make you enjoy the album overall.
I gotcha. He's been a divisive artist. I think that's the best way I can say it. A lot of people either love him or they don't like him at all. At least you were able to find a few songs he did like, which is encouraging. But he changes his style for a lot of his albums, and he's kind of shied away from the style that you found in this album, and he's doing more of, I wouldn't even know how to describe. I guess contemporary folk rock is what I would say now, but it's less twangy now. A lot more just like acoustic work.
Yeah,
he's not straining his voice as much. So he may have learned his lesson from this album. I still like this album, but I am biased, and also I have a bad habit of I'll listen to artists, and if they're a really good guitar player, I can look past everything else and just listen to that. So I am very biased in that scenario.
I think that probably would be the sort because I think some of the last song, or like I think it's maybe Pine Tree Simple Pleasures, where it goes pretty acoustic, and it's I actually did really dig that sound. I think that you know it again like it was start off a bit like yeah like there's like I think yeah you can feel his voice kind of strained, it's kind of pushing. I think just maybe his voice did just not fit some of the style of his and that's probably my main problem with the first couple of tracks. Is they were very twangy. Like it reminded me a lot of just kind of like it's kind of like I kind of thought like it's just like sort of like a British take on country, which I guess folk is the origin of country. But it's just like not my scene, not really my sound. So and I think it's okay to be biased because again, music, film is art is subjective. So I mean, there are people out there who don't like Queen or who think that think that your heavy metal stuff is devil music and not worth listening to. So yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
I mean, it really is all subjective. There's no such thing as objectively good or objectively bad. Someone can always like something.
Except for The Last Airbender by M. Night Shyamalan. That is an objectively terrible film.
You are right. If you like that, stop listening, please. Or do listen if you like your viewership. But no, that's an atrocious movie, Gus.
Really is. But speaking of like Asian-centric inspired films, you reviewed Ang Lee's 2000 kung fu epic Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. It's kind of funny. Like when I first, so Russ recommended the album first. It was called Shangri-La, and I was like, oh, like that sounds mystical. I'll do Crouching Tiger for like a kung fu epic. And then I learned that Shangri-La is just the name of the studio that Jake Bugg recorded in, and it's just like it's decidedly less mystic than this film. But yeah, so let's discuss that. I mean, what do you think of that film?
I guess one word to describe how I felt after finishing the film was frustrated because, and not in a way frustrated as you're probably thinking, it's more of I understand that the acting in the film was phenomenal. The set pieces were gorgeous. The action scenes were absolutely incredible. But they told the story that they were telling well, and they by far achieved their objective. It's more of just from a personal level. It's a hard story for me to get into. With a 2-hour movie like that, it was just a hard story for me to stay involved in the entire time. There was never really one single character I could really latch onto for the entire film. So I had to keep bumping around to different characters trying to figure out what they're all about. And while I understand why the movie did so well and why it's so highly regarded, it's just one of those films that I guess I'm frustrated to where I wish I enjoyed it as much as the rest of the world did.
Yeah, I feel that. Because there are definitely films out there like where I think for everybody where it's like you watch a movie and like everyone loves it, everyone thinks it's like the best, but you're just kind of like, oh yeah, it was okay, it was solid. But yeah, no, it is. I think it's kind of like it's interesting because it's a very like Ang Lee sort of film where it's very emotionally reserved. There's like a lot of things, like a lot of focus on like nature and like in honor amongst humanity. Like the two main characters, like they like played by Chow Yun-fat, Michelle Yeoh, like they have a sort of a forbidden romance because like Michelle Yeoh's husband died and like that was like Chow Yun-fat's like that was his buddy, so they don't act on it because like honor. Very endless stuff like that. But at the same time, like there's all these like incredibly high octane, like fast paced action sequences that like if you didn't know, you would never believe that Ang Lee directed them.
I'm just still upset at how gorgeous the movie was, how well acted it was, and I guess the character I was invested most in, or I found myself most intrigued with, is Jen, just because Jen was the just pure form of chaos the entire film.
Yeah, Jen was really great. I think it's kind of cool that like probably we like kind of like this past decade in 2010s we had a bit of a renaissance. There's actually this video by Patrick A. Williams called "About Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon." It points out like that there's like people like Pure Furiosa, Mad Max, Ray in Star Wars, and like and even earlier than that, you like the Bride and Kill Bill. But even before that, you had Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Like of the four main badasses in the film, three of them are women, which is a cool beat. Sure. Yeah. So I guess like the main overall point to kind of stay back on the topic is like I think it's sort of a case of like we can understand why other people would enjoy this piece of art, but it's like it's just not our scene. I think it's like it's like the Mona Lisa, where millions of people every year go and see that, and then like in my personal experience, like I've seen it, and it's like like yeah, cool, I guess. Like I appreciate it looks great, but like best painting ever made is kind of that's sort of a hard sell. So like it's just maybe a matter of misappropriation of like, oh, like we think you're really gonna enjoy this, and then you'll like it, but you don't like really enjoy it.
I mean, I think it's funny how we both ended up getting the same kind of vibe from the pieces of art that we were each assigned, to where we each we can respect it, but it's just wasn't what either we anticipated or it's not our scene. And I mean, I think it's funny that we both came back to that conclusion with the pieces we were assigned. But because Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, it won like 40 different Academy Awards, or was nominated for 40 Academy Awards.
It was nominated for a decent amount, and like it was a pretty big deal because again, like this is that's probably one of the things probably should totally going into it. Is like this is a foreign language film. It's almost entirely in, I believe, Mandarin.
Yes, and it was the first foreign language film to make over $100 million in the U.S. I think that's what I looked up.
Yeah, it's up there. I mean, maybe Spirited Away might have beat it, but I think or Parasite. But I think that this is definitely up there. It's it's one of the highest grossing. Might still even be the highest grossing film in America, foreign language film in America.
I guess another reason that I probably was a little disconnected with the film was before this I'd only ever seen one foreign language film before, and that was Orphanage. So I guess it's just lack of exposure to foreign language films also could have taken me out of the story a little bit.
Yeah, because I mean, I think that sometimes for a lot of people think we're make or break because you don't you're watching a film, you don't really want to feel like you're also reading a book at the same time. Because some people argue oh, it's not that big of a distraction, but I think for others where it's where attention sort of calls to the cinematography or to the action sequence of the costuming, having to kind of avert your eyes every couple seconds to read what's on the bottom of the screen can kind of be that's a bit disconnecting from the film. That when you especially when the film's trying to suck you into its world and everything, it kind of could be it can be tough to do that while you're also still reading basically a book at the same time. So maybe I should have be better on that, but at the same time I also kind of feel like I would really love to have been there when you first watch this. You go a couple minutes oh yeah, so this is just a prologue, right? Eventually they're going to go on to speaking English. And it's nope, this is the film the entire time.
That was my reaction when I watched The Orphanage, and then the second I saw subtitles in this one, I kind of picked up on what was going to happen there.
I think it's kind of even though like you said the story maybe didn't draw you in, I think you have to at least admit the action sequences in this film
they were gorgeous.
Top notch. The dojo fight is awesome. It's something a word. I think because I think Lee basically kind of does he sort of takes that sort of because he does mainly primarily romantic dramas and stuff before this sense of sensibility before this, so it's sort of very kind of sweeping camera shots and very long takes and open wide shots and everything like that. And he applies that to martial arts, which is great because then you get to see everything that's going down. There's no, I think films like The Raid, for instance, kind of owed, other style a little bit too, Crouching Tiger, because it's it shows you, you can do all these crazy long action scenes and everything, and and you don't have to cut every 10, 15 minutes. You can make it work. Or sorry, cut every 10, 5-10 seconds. You can still make it work with that kind of style of filmmaking.
There's only one thing I will say about some of the fighting, and there was something that I think kind of dates the film a little bit, is when you can tell they're obviously on ropes on some of their jumps.
even like I feel like even like considering that it came out the year after the Matrix, you look at like you look at the Matrix. There's still times where it's like for instance, where Trinity jumps up into the 360 round and kicks, like it's still like a really cool shot, and it's like how the hell did they do that? And you still like wonder that, like even like watching it, 15, 20 years later. With Crouching Tiger, I feel like they've had to have known as soon as they like put it to screen, like Ang Lee just looked at it and goes like, oh, this looks like shit, but we don't have the budget to go back and redo it, so fuck it, we're just gonna keep it. Like that's probably that might have been Ang Lee's entire attitude. The actually just like, oh, fuck it, it looks cool, let's go with it. It's like that's probably like it's definitely kind of cheesy at points. Still cool.
I think my favorite part of the film was, I don't know, it just made me laugh a lot. It's not even like it's not an important part of the movie. It wasn't anything like emotionally deep in the story. It's a little side thing that just kind of happens for a minute. I wish you were there so you could have seen like the gleeful laugh I was doing last night when I was watching this. It's when how do I pronounce his name? Let's see. He was in the courtyard just playing with a sword like a little neckbeard for a while. That little scene. It was like in the first like third of the movie.
Yeah, no, it's I can kind of imagine. Let me try it. Something like
And
that.
he's just kind of in the corner of the little courtyard, just kind of playing with his little sword.
Or,
Brought me a lot of joy there. That little scene there. It was a nice little aside because if I remember correctly, the scene before that was really serious. It was just after like a big fight, and then he just kind of goes to the little courtyard and says that for a while.
he's got yeah. Well, while other people were studying, where Chad was studying the chicks, he was studying the blade.
He was. While you studied the books, he studied the blade, and I think it shows.
Now he is it's like that cast is though incredibly stacked though. Like you look at because Chow Yun Fat was coming off of like his period in the '90s where he was with John Woo doing like Hard Boiled, and then Michelle Yeoh is also pretty. I mean, she's done a number of action films, but like I think that there's like one scene I can't remember what film it was, but where she rides a motorbike like up a ramp onto a train. Basically something out of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Like she is better than CJ. She caught the train. All right.
I have seen that. I've seen that clip. I don't know where I saw the clip, but I've seen that clip.
Yeah, Big Smoke wouldn't have said shit to her. But no, I think so. Yes, overall, if there was like a main point to make, I think we kind of come back to this. But we'll reiterate. Like again, if you like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, like I really love that that film. The rest really likes this album. The other just we didn't. So please don't murder us for not liking things that you really like. Like I think we had some fun with it, but it's like nothing we're probably gonna come back to like repeatedly. Like that, like the Wasp album, The Crimson Idol. I'll re-listen to since this recording our first episode. But this album, I kind of like, maybe like a track here or there, but it's nothing I'm really gonna repeatedly come back to.
It's one of those things on Spotify where you just save specific songs, but not the entire album.
Absolutely, yeah.
But overall, where would you what out of 10? What would you rate Shangri-La?
It's like a 6.5 out of 10. Like it's okay.
I can respect that. I'm gonna give Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon an 8.5, and those 1.5 that came off, that's just because it was hard for me to get into the story. That's just a personal thing. But I'll still give it 8.5 because it was a well-made movie. They achieved their goals. It was well acted, well performed, well choreographed. It's just hard for me to get into, and that's no fault of theirs.
All right. Do you want to move on to questions?
Absolutely. We can go to our quizzes. Do you want to go first, or should I go first on this?
You can go first again.
All right. I have my questions all written down here. See, we're ready. We learned. All right. Okay, same format as last week, where it's the 5 questions, and if you want to, you can trigger the all for nothing.
All
right. Ready?
Okay.
And I will be keeping your score out of 5 on my phone. In the song "Messed Up Kids," the kids are on the corner with no money. What are 2 of the 3 things that they are selling?
Their body and drugs.
All right. Do you want to go for the third one? Because you got it right, but do you want to go for the third one? It's a weird one because I forgot about it too until I listened to the song again.
It's something like it's not like their souls or something like that. It's not like an actual physical thing.
It's a concept. It's time.
Okay.
But you got 2 of the 3, some that you have that, so you're 1 for 1.
Okay.
Okay. A similar style question. In the song Kingpin, name 2 of the 4 drugs he has for sale.
I don't know, cocaine and heroin?
Okay. I'm going to give you one more chance. It's a lot simpler than you're making it. It's code words for things.
Oh, it's code word? Oh. Code word for things. Maybe like brown and white?
You were so close on that one, actually. Okay. You didn't get this one, but do you want to know the answers?
Sure.
The answers are, I got the blues, I got the reds, yellow tongues, and spider legs.
Oh, okay. I assume that that's referring to like pills, blue tops, red tops, or something like that. But I don't know what yellow or spider legs are.
I don't know what a yellow tongue is. I don't know what a spider leg is, but now I kind of want to know.
I don't think you do.
Okay, you ready for the third one? You're 1 for 2 so far.
Yep.
In the song All Your Reasons, what is Jake Bugg's heart's desire? I'll give you a hint. It rhymes with what I just asked you.
Oh, set the world on fire.
Yep. I'll give you that one. All right,
Okay.
you are 2 for 3 so far.
All right.
Okay, we're going back to the song Messed Up Kids. Are you ready?
Okay.
What color is the sky in Messed Up Kids?
Oh shit. Is it like a red sky, something like that? Black night sky.
This may be an unfair question, so I'm going to give you one hint. It's a shade of something.
Okay. Oh, midnight blue?
Nope. Not going to give you this one. It's the sky's all pastel shades.
Oh, okay.
Pastel shades.
All right.
You are 2 for 4. Final question. Ready?
Okay.
This one should be easy because it's in the first. I think it's in the first 2 lines of the song.
All right.
In Slumville Sunrise, in how long hasn't Jake Bugg slept?
All night. He hasn't slept the entire night.
There you go. All right, you went 3 for 5.
Okay. All right.
Are you ready with your questions?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So, what is the? Okay. So we'll start with an easy one. Who directed the film?
You know what's upsetting right now, Gus? You said it earlier.
I said it multiple times earlier.
You said it a lot of times.
Yeah.
His last name's Lee.
His last name. Okay. Can you get the first name?
Zhang?
No.
Was I close?
If you were close, it was Ang Lee. You got the surname.
You know what? No, I got his name. I got his name wrong technically. I'll take the wrong one on that one.
Like, one thing if like it was like something where it's maybe a longer name. Like if you said like Spielberg, I'm not gonna ask you like what like the first name is. It gets Steven. But for Ang Lee, that's just like a short kind of succinct name. Yeah. Okay. So what is the name of Li Mubai's sword?
That is the Green Destiny?
Yes.
All right,
Okay.
1 for 2.
1 for 2. Why is the Jade Fox after Jen?
I can tell you why the Jade Fox wants Jen dead, but
yeah, I mean, like, why is like the Jade Fox like when she's like basically it's like near the end of the film, she admits like to why she chased after them and trying to kill Jen. It's like, what's that reasoning?
Because Jen wouldn't teach her the techniques for what was the name of martial arts that they were so the Wudang.
Yes. Yeah. That's correct. She went to there's apparently superior Wudang techniques that Jen knew that were in the book, but she never taught Jade Fox. She refused to. Okay. So okay. In the story, Lo tells Jen, why did the man who jumped off the cliff not die?
Because his heart was pure.
Yes. So what do you know? 3 for 4.
All right. Let's see how this last one goes.
Okay, let's see. So what is the name of Shu Lian's late husband?
I do not know that at all.
That's the last question for. Okay, so it's the last question for a reason. I thought it was kind of bullshit. Tell you what, I'll
Gus, if if I take the wrong one here, we can just go to all or nothing questions.
Yep.
Want to trigger that?
Yeah, sure.
All right. Who wants to ask all or nothing question first?
You can ask me first.
All right. Let's see. Let's go back to my notes again. You ready?
Yep.
What famous producer produced this album?
It's Rick something. Because I read it.
Okay, you're on the right track. I'll give you a 2-word hint. Ready?
Okay.
Hip hop.
Hip hop. Hip hop. Rick Rappers. I mean, I don't know. I don't know the last name. It was like Rick something. There's something starts with an R.
You ready?
Yeah.
It's Rick Rubin, Gus.
Okay, get the fuck out of here. Okay. So my bonus question is also pretty tough.
Okay.
At least I think it is. So what is the name of the inspector who's also searching for the Jade Box?
Was that the guy who looked kind of like Lee Mubai?
I think it's a kind of racist territory, so I'm not going to answer that question.
That is not what I meant. I meant more of the hairstyles. They cut.
No, I know what you meant. It's being an asshole. Kind of. Yeah, I mean, he's the one from he brought his daughter along. He's like from the country. He came to Beijing because I'm also searching for her. Like, what's his name?
Isn't his name Bo?
Huh?
Bo?
Oh no.
Damn it.
It's Psy or Zai. I'm not sure how to. It's TSAI. Is how it's spelled.
Oh, I hate you.
Okay. Do you have any other backup? Okay. Here's the thing. I got one more question, and do you have any backup questions you made? Because I think we both got ours wrong.
We both got ours wrong, so we're back to 0. I can think of a quick question soon.
I have a question.
What's your question?
Okay, so I have a few. So okay, here's one. Okay. How many Oscars exactly was the film nominated for?
23.
Okay, I will give you a hint. The record is 11. It did not reach 11, but it got close.
9.
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. I have. You know what? I think I have a question for you.
Okay.
Jake Bugg has released, I want to say, 5 albums.
Yeah.
In chronologically, where did Shangri-La fall? Like, was it his first, second, third, fourth, fifth?
It was the second album. His sophomore album. It's the second album.
Damn it.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're back to 1 each. Okay.
Okay. I got one. I got another one made. This one is honestly it's pretty hard because I wasn't usually gonna do it. But so that's the only one I had prepared. Or did you want me to think of something else?
I have one. You know what? I have a decently hard question for you.
Okay.
Want me to go first, or you go first?
Tell you what, I'm gonna go first because this one is pretty difficult, and then you can kind of judge if that's a fair this one's pretty tough. Okay, so this film has 3 credited writers. All right. Name. I was originally gonna be name all 3, but I'll say just name one of them.
Oh, I'm upset because I actually remember looking at this list, and then it was there was all of a sudden one really American name in this list out of nowhere.
There is. There's two obviously Asian names, and then one just chalk white name.
And all right, I don't even remember. I'm just gonna forfeit this question.
So the 3 writers were Wang Hui Lang, James Seamus, and Sai Ko.
Where did James Seamus come from?
I think he was probably just the only thing I can think of that he did was to maybe the only thing I think of was maybe he did the translation part, where it's he kind of did the scripts for when they brought it over to America, the subtitles. That's the only thing I could think of that he did, that he may have done, or maybe not. Maybe he wrote the whole story. I'm not sure, or he did a solid chunk of it. I'm not sure how that got divvied up, but he got credited for it. That's weird. But what's your question?
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. While this album wasn't, I guess, super well received in the super phenomenally received in the U.S. It was well received generally, and it did enter the U.S. Billboard Top 200. If you can get its Billboard 200 placing within 10, you win overall. And you can go 10 high or 10 low.
Okay, 10 high or 10 low. 120.
A little off, and by a little I mean a lot. It was 46 actually. It didn't crack top 40, but it was 46.
That is okay.
Okay, and you know what? We've done 3 rounds of bonus questions, and we can't seem to crack each other.
I have one more question.
Oh, okay. All right, you have one more question. Okay, let's make a deal first, though. All right.
Yeah.
If we tie again after this final round, we have to split the punishment. We do less of it, but we have to split it.
Okay.
Is that a deal?
Let's just do quick and easy. Basically, like, I'm gonna give you this question, and you can tell me whether or not it's accurate. Okay. So this is a true or false question. Okay. So this film made Ang Lee the first the first person of Asian descent to win Best Director.
True.
No, that's false. He was the first person to win it, but he won it for Brokeback Mountain 5 years later.
All right. Okay. I'm in trouble right here. I have one more question for you.
Okay.
I feel like I just lost because I feel like you're getting this next question right.
All right.
Okay. This album did very, very well in England, as a lot of his early work did very well in England just overall. This album did particularly well in England. It peaked in the UK top charts. If you can go one up or one low. Where did this album place in the charts? And a hint, it did phenomenally well.
I don't know. Like, so you say phenomenally well, like really well?
Like really, really well.
I don't know, like 2. Fuck it.
Yep. You got one up, one low. You went one low. It was top 3 in the UK charts. It was number 3.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So after all those rounds of overtime, I lost.
Yeah.
I am very upset. What is the challenge food going to be this time around? I asked this to make sure that we can procure this under the current guidelines, because I don't want to go on a wild goose hunt to find something that I won't be able to find.
I think we said blood cubes.
If we can't find those, do you have a backup in mind?
What is that? That food, the Swedish food, where it's in the can and it smells horrible.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I forgot the name of it, but it's a Swedish fish in a can.
Yeah, so we could probably get that if it's preserved.
We can definitely get that.
Okay, so let's just shoot for that. If we
It's
know
like Sir Extrami, I think is what it's called.
Okay, so we'll just shoot for that instead of blood cubes.
All right, if we can find blood cubes, we can find them. If not, we're gonna go with Sir Extrami, and then that video will be up a week after this one uploads.
Don't give them a hard time.
What?
I'll give them so now it's like a day later. Like you said, it was Friday. Actually, no, yeah. So people complain. It's like, oh, you said it was Friday, but it came out Saturday, man. Like, what the fuck? You're killing our journalistic integrity, Russ.
I didn't already do that.
You're killing my journalistic integrity.
I didn't know you had any integrity. Congrats to you. I'm proud of you, actually.
I mean, based off current journalism practices, I imagine no one does.
No one does. It's been rough.
It's been rough.
Well, we just want to thank everyone for listening. We appreciate y'all tuning in, and we'll be back next week with the food challenge video.
And trust me, I am very much so looking forward to that.
Gus, you just like seeing me suffer, don't you?
I think doesn't everybody? Bye.
Bye.